Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're kind of setting sail on a digital treasure hunt.
That's right. We're looking for that elusive treasure, passive income from YouTube.
Exactly. And we've got the source material that uses a really cool sea voyage analogy to explain how to find it. It starts with finding keyword treasures.
It's a great way to picture it, isn't it? YouTube as this huge ocean.
Yeah, and your potential viewers are out there somewhere. So the idea is that keyword research is like getting the treasure map.
Right, the map showing where your audience is congregating, what they're searching for.
We want to unpack this whole analogy today, give you the practical steps, without making it feel overwhelming.
Let's get into it. So this treasure map, keyword research. The text is clear. It's step one.
Finding those keyword treasures, the actual words people type in.
But it's more than just finding popular words, right?
Definitely. The map doesn't just show what they search, but why. What problems do they have? What are they curious about?
Understanding that intent behind the search. That's the real gold.
Yeah, finding out their interests, their pain points.
And an important point the text makes, indirectly perhaps, is about not just chasing the huge keywords.
Oh, you mean like the really competitive one?
Exactly. Sometimes those longer, more specific phrases, long tail keywords, they might have less traffic, but also way less competition.
Ah. So it's like finding a smaller, easier to reach treasure chest first.
Precisely. It can get you started, build some momentum, and often attract a more targeted audience for whatever you're ultimately offering.
That's a smart angle. Okay, so we have the map, but a map's no good without a way to travel, right?
Which brings us to the ship. In this analogy, that's your YouTube channel and your whole content plan.
Your vessel for the journey.
And you need a strong ship.
Mhm.
The source talks about channel fundamentals, profile picture, banner, description.
The basics, yeah, like making sure your ship looks seaworthy and, trustworthy.
Exactly. It builds that initial credibility. People are more likely to come aboard if the ship looks solid.
Makes sense. And then you need supplies for the voyage, the content strategy.
Your provisions. What are you actually offering viewers? This needs planning.
So not just random videos.
No, definitely not. It needs quality, consistency, and crucially, it has to align with the treasure map, the keywords, and the search intent we talked about.
Otherwise, your ship is just adrift, right? Full of cargo nobody wants at the destination.
Perfectly put. And speaking of destination, you need clear goals for the voyage.
Ah, yes. The source points straight at passive income, financial freedom. That's the X on the map.
Having that clear why is crucial. Maybe even making it more specific, like, setting smart goals around income targets or timelines. It gives you direction.
Okay, map, ship, supplies, destination, check. But the sea isn't always calm. There are other ships, potential storms.
Right, which is where the weapons come in. This is about optimization and engagement, your defense and offense.
Weapons, okay, how does that work?
Well, think of video optimization SEO as your cannon, is how you fight for attention.
So things like titles, descriptions, tags.
Yes, and especially that striking thumbnail. That's your opening shot to grab someone's eye in the search results.
So the visual hook, got it. And the armor.
That's engagement, likes, comments, shares, building that community.
Ah, so when people interact, it strengthens your channel.
Exactly. It tells YouTube your content is valuable, making your ship more robust, harder to sink in the rankings. It builds resilience.
Ah, I like that, a robust channel. And the source mentions a support fleet.
Yeah, that's about content clusters. Think playlists, video series on related topics.
How does that help?
They act like smaller ships supporting your main one. They keep viewers watching longer, guide them to more of your stuff, and build your authority on a topic.
So it makes your whole presence stronger, like an armada.
Precisely. It signals depth and expertise.
Okay, this is building a pretty comprehensive picture. Map, ship, weapons, fleet. What's next for navigating?
Technology. This is about using tools to find your way, maybe even to those calmer blue ocean areas with less competition.
Blue oceans. I like the sound of that. Less crowded waters.
And the key piece of tech here is your compass and sonar YouTube analytics.
Right, the data. But sometimes it feels like just a bunch of numbers.
But it's so much more. It
Mm.
tells you where viewers came from, which routes are working. It shows you audience retention, what keeps them watching, average view duration.
And crucially, where they click away, right, the drop-off points.
Exactly. It tells you if you're on course or if you're losing your audience somewhere. It's direct feedback on what's working and what's not.
Okay, so analytics are the internal navigation. What about looking outwards?
That's the star chart. Other tools, keyword research platforms beyond the basics, trend monitoring, competitor analysis.
Seeing the bigger picture, what others are doing where new opportunities might be.
Yeah, getting that wider view of the YouTube sea to spot those less crowded paths, those blue oceans.
But YouTube changes all the time. The algorithm shifts,
Which is why you need the automatic rudder system, adaptation, and iteration.
meaning you can't just set a course and forget it.
Absolutely not. The source highlights this cycle. Try something, maybe it fails. Analyze why. Adjust your approach. Repeat.
The try, fail, analyze, adjust loop.
Yes. Using analytics to constantly tweak your content, your SEO, even A/B testing, things like thumbnails, to find what performs best. It's about constantly steering towards what works now.
That makes sense. It's a dynamic process, not a one-off setup.
Definitely. And the source also briefly mentions a few other sort of overarching factors.
Like what?
Well, the captain and crew, that's you. Your knowledge, your dedication, your discipline to actually do all this stuff consistently.
Ah, the human element. It's not just about tools and tactics.
Not at all. And then there are the weather conditions, things outside your control, like big algorithm updates or platform changes.
You can't control the weather, but you can adjust your sails.
Exactly. Be ready to adapt. And of course, the provisions needed time, effort, maybe some resources. It's not instant,
It requires investment.
for sure. And the ultimate destination, remember, isn't just views. It's that sustainable financial freedom, building an asset.
Right. So tying it all back together, finding those keywords, the treasure map, it's exciting, but it's just the start.
Yeah, the real journey is building that strong ship, your channel, your content strategy,
Equipping it with the right weapons, optimization, engagement,
using the technology analytics wisely to navigate.
and having the right crew, your own commitment to see it through.
It all works together. You need the map, the ship, the tools, and the skills to use them.
It paints a picture of continuous learning and adaptation, doesn't it? The YouTube sea is always changing.
That's the core message, I think. Success comes from navigating those changes effectively to reach that treasure of passive income.
So a final thought for everyone listening, thinking about your own YouTube voyage or the one you're planning, which part needs attention right now?
Is it your map, your ship,
Mm.
your weapons, or maybe your navigation tech?
Yeah, where's the most immediate leverage point for you to start steering towards that passive income goal? Something to really mull over.